Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have a very special cookie recipe for you guys. I'll be making my mom's tropical biscotti. When I went to visit my family in July, my mom made these awesome biscotti with dried pineapple, papaya, and pecans dipped in white chocolate, and they were so good. Perfect in the morning with a cup of hot coffee, or enjoy it after dinner with some tea. You guys are going to love the tropical flavors in here, and then you could garnish the top with that melted white chocolate, some drizzled dark chocolate, nuts, dried fruit. These are so great for the fall. Let me show you how to make them. For this recipe, I highly recommend using a stand mixer. It just makes the recipe super easy to make. Into my mixer bowl, I'm going to add in 6 large eggs, 1 1/3 cups of white granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a teaspoon of almond extract. Mix the sugar and eggs together on high speed for about 4 to 5 minutes until the eggs are pale in color. And now I'm ready to add my butter. I've softened 1 cup of unsalted butter. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons at a time and mix it really well after each addition. For my dry ingredients, I've measured out 5½ cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and just mix that in. You also want to have some extra flour on the side for when you're kneading the dough and rolling it out. I've swapped out my whisk for my flat beater. I also have my dough hook ready. We're gonna switch out to that a little bit later. Now I'm ready to add my flour. I'm just gonna add a nice scoopful and then give it a good mix after each addition. And once the dough starts to come together, go ahead and switch to the dough hook and continue adding the flour. And once the dough comes together, I'm going to add in my fillings. I have 1 cup of finely diced pecans, 1 cup of diced dried pineapple, and ½ cup of diced dried papaya. My dough has come together nicely. I've turned it out onto my work surface, which I've lightly floured. I'm gonna flour my hands real quick here, sprinkle some more flour on top, and then just knead this dough for a couple of minutes. And the consistency of this dough is key to making really great biscotti cookies. You want the dough to be really nice and soft, yet not sticky to your hand. And then shape up the dough into a log and then split it in half. I've lined 2 baking sheets with silicone mats. You can also use parchment paper. I'm just going to shape the dough into a log on the silicone mat. And we're looking for a flat, long rectangle. And my biscotti cookies are ready to go into the oven. I have mine preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The cookies will bake for about 23 to 26 minutes. You want to bake them until that top is nicely golden brown. You have some nice color along the edges. Then take them out and let them cool completely on a wire rack. And then grab a long serrated knife. I like to cut it in half and then work with the smaller pieces. And you want to slice the cookie sheet into about 1 inch, maybe ½ an inch thick, all depending on your preference. And then gently and carefully transfer the cookies back onto the baking sheet. And then spread the cookies apart, leaving a little space in between each one so they could dry out properly. And my cookies are ready to go back into the oven for round 2 of baking. I have my oven preheated to 270 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I have a convection oven, which is a fan at the back of the oven that blows, and these will dry a little bit faster with that fan. I'm gonna bake them for about 45 minutes. If you don't have a convection oven, you'll wanna bake the cookies at 270 for 1.5 hours. And then once they're all done baking, you could take them out and let them cool completely in the pan, and then we'll get to decorating them with some chocolate. And then it's on to the garnishment. So today I'm using some white chocolate melts, about 3 to 4 cups of these. I like this Ghirardelli brand, super easy to make. Just place them into the microwave and they melt so smoothly. And then I pour the melted white chocolate into a large glass baking dish, which is going to be large enough for me to dip the cookies into. And we've got some garnishes here, some pecans, papaya, pineapple, sprinkles, and some dark chocolate. And then for each cookie, you just want to grab the cookie, dip it into that white chocolate, tap off any extra chocolate, and then set it onto a wire rack. This first batch of cookies I'm going to drizzle with some dark chocolate. And that's it, guys, for my tropical biscotti. Once you have these cookies all garnished, allow the chocolate to set completely and then place them into an airtight container. Make sure it's well sealed so they stay fresh and they'll stay good for a couple weeks in your pantry. I love to take these out in the morning, enjoy them with a cup of coffee or really any time of the day when you're craving for a little treat. I'm gonna grab one of these chocolate covered ones. Now I typically leave at least 10 to 15 of them ungarnished without the chocolate because my husband doesn't like the chocolate, but for me, always with the chocolate. These are so delicious. Love how crunchy they are. You guys are going to love this biscotti cookie recipe. It just never fails. My mom has had this recipe in her family for over 15 years. She makes them at least every other week and we never get tired of it. You guys are going to love this combination of the dried pineapple, the papaya, little bits of pecans, and that white chocolate coating on top is the perfect complement to all of those amazing flavors. Now, if you want this recipe for yourself, head down into the video description box. I leave a link there that'll take you over to my blog where you can print it off, save it to Pinterest, and share it with your family and friends. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe, and I'll see you next time.